Yay!
Hey! Tucker Bagley!
Whoa!
That was definitely the most exciting part of the pod right there. All right.
Time to wake up!
I've been up for 8 hours.
Oh, no way. That's amazing.
You ready, Ro?
Yeah.
Yo, it is another.
Don't give me a Taiwan yo.
Of the High Hopes Pod presented by Miller Lite, official sponsor of the Philadelphia Phillies. That was a Taiwan yo. No. You know what? Because the other times I was like, oh, it's 6 starters, or oh, what else are you gonna do? Or get him off my team. Get him off my team. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I am so freaking done with that guy. Never again. DFA him. Eat the freaking money. Like, I don't care. I am not watching him pitch for the Phillies again. I can't. You can't win with that guy. They've lost 9 straight, Jack. 9 straight. It started. You're getting it, Taiwan Yo. How you doing?
Tell me how you really feel.
I can't stand him as a player.
Yes,
I'm
as
sure
always
he's a very
player.
nice human being.
Yes.
Nothing personal, Taiwan. But if I see you pitch again, it's gonna be personal.
Well,
I can't do this.
You need to start adopting my philosophy, okay?
Don't care. Just
don't watch.
Don't watch.
Like,
Yeah,
just like
sure. That's
so
easy.
How I treated yesterday is it didn't happen. So the Phillies have won 4 straight.
Okay.
And every time one
They
starts,
magically just lost the game to the Braves or the Dodgers. I mean, they're just behind.
and the Braves too.
Yeah,
and
that too.
They're only 5 games back.
The 4-game series. Oh,
I'm terrible. I kid you not. I woke up this morning very nervous.
Yeah, I'm
very
not
nervous.
happy right now.
No, like it's not nerves out of like it's more I'm always looking for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Like it could go really, really bad, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 3-game division lead or a 2-game division lead, which is a nightmare scenario.
Well, it can only be 3 or 1, I think, right?
Well, it can't be 2.
I don't think so, right? Because if you lose 3, but then you win the 4th, it goes back up to 3. So I think it can only be. Am I right about that, Tuck?
Math.
I think so.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think it can only be 3 or 1. Either they win all 4 and you're 1 up. Oh my God. Or you win. They win 3 of 4 and you're 3 up.
That's fine. Either way, not a math guy, but it's okay. It's just whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm clearly nervous. The Taiwan thing is obviously reached a breaking point. Like I don't know what else to say. If they start him again, I think it's a slap in the face to the players who I think showed up yesterday saying we're gonna lose.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, you think they had no hit in 7 innings? Yeah, I think they did showed up expecting them.
Like I think
I think they did not care or did not show up expecting.
Was it Altuve that hit the ball off the wall in the first inning? And
then scored for Altuve scored from 3rd and 1st on the pickoff throw. Yeah.
But he hit the ball off the wall in like the first inning, and I could just sense it was like,
immediate.
There
ripped
it
it.
It is. So yeah, so it's first off.
You didn't have to watch Jordan Alvarez hit bombs or anything.
Sure. And at least he did take down 6 innings.
I know. Thank you. The Topper let us know that after the game. Well, you didn't know. Did you hear Taiwan? His splitter, the shape on his splitter was really good.
Pitching to contact.
Yeah, he's getting ground balls, man.
And
come on,
I mean, he was
there.
And it's unbelievable.
Oh
was it Ben that said this morning that he had 2 whiffs?
Yeah, 45 swings, 2 whiffs.
I think he's the first pitcher to go 6+ innings without recording a strikeout since like the early
especially
1900s.
with 13 hits given up.
That's a good. That's an innings eater. That's
what. Honestly, it's so funny because people get so mad at innings eater, and like, no, it's not. Like, that's not an innings eater. That's a bad pitcher. Yeah, exactly.
And there is a part of me that buys into the theory that he's sitting on 997 strikeouts. He's 3 away from 1,000. Like, do they want to see if they can get him to 1,000 before never letting him see a big league mound again?
Stop.
They're just saying. So
that'd be like Gene Segura's 200th double.
Exactly. But like it is. So I'm not this guy usually when it comes down to like, it's your choice if you want to go to the game or not. But like it's actually insulting to the fans that are paying money to go see the Phillies.
Yeah.
To put him out there. Like it's just like at least offer half off concessions. Could you imagine that? Like that announcement that hey, Taiwan's on the mound tonight.
Guys,
half off. Half off everything. Like it'd be the funniest promotion of all time.
It would. I mean, Oh my
They'll
God.
never do it, but like,
of course not. I mean, it'd be like basically like crapping over Taiwan publicly.
So funny, but it's actually insulting to the people that are paying money.
Well, and I think you made
go down.
I think you made a more important point. Like, it's not like it's one of those things where if it's a bullpen game or if it's just that, like, yeah, like, you're not going in with your best chance to win, like if you have wheels or Nola on the hill or whatever. But like, at least you go in saying like, all right, maybe our relievers are going to pitch well or whatever. Maybe we got a chance to win. Like the Taiwan thing has gotten to the point they've lost 9 straight games. He started, Jack, 9 straight. Like, this is at the point where it's like, I do think those players go in expecting to lose, not thinking we might lose, not thinking we have our best guy on the hill today, or going in saying we're losing today. And that's unacceptable. Like, that's when you cross a line over from, hey, listen, we're a little beat up, or we need to get through this day. Let's see to going in and like actively playing to lose. And it's because of money. It's because of a contract. Like, those players aren't dumb. They know that the only reason that Taijuan Walker is getting the ball is because he's owed money. And that's not good enough. Like, especially for a team trying to win the World Series. If you want to waste those starts early in the season, which again could come back to bite you as we're finding out all these starts, every single one could matter when we're talking about 1, 2, 3 games, whatever. But if you want to waste that early in the season, see if he's got it, whatever. I get that. But it's September, man. We're a couple days away from a September push. And they're still rolling this guy out there like it's offensive.
Yeah, well, it's a scheduled loss. It's a scheduled loss every time he takes them out. And like I'm like, they had to give him a shot. Like, we weren't. I
agree. I was fine with him coming back and getting the shot, but it's after the last one should be over. This one, it's over. It's
done. I mean, do
you believe that though in your core? You do.
There's no they can't.
But you said this after the last one.
I know. I couched it and I said. Okay, maybe one more.
Only because I was like, Jack, you sure about that? Because I think he's coming out again.
Maybe one more.
Like, you did feel the last part we were doing, you felt confident he wasn't going to start again.
Well, all right. So at one point, I was, believe it or not, I was looking up the Adam Eaton game logs today.
That is the least surprising thing you said this whole podcast.
Trying to remember what it was like, because it is eerie. And
somehow Taiwan's been slightly worse, which is
worse.
Miracle.
And it does make me believe more than ever the Phillies are winning the World Series this year. So that
it is about as good a angle as we've had.
He's gonna get Taiwan is gonna
the
get
Taiwan ring ceremony.
Booed at the ring ceremony.
Is a thing.
So like that's gonna be. I'm more convinced than ever this team's winning the World Series. But like Eaton had back-to-back starts after 19 starts in 2008. Wow. Taiwan's only at 14.
Yeah.
So hey, we can give him 5 more.
Only because he got hurt, buddy. He would be there.
Right. I know. So he had 19 starts. His last 2 starts, it was 8 earned and 6 earned.
Wow. So even worse those 2, yeah.
And that's where it feels like this team's at. And it's unbelievable how Gillick and now Dombrowski, 2 of the best to ever do it. Big old swings.
Yeah, massive swings. And this obviously an even bigger swing. Yeah. Seeing it's 3 times the price. Yeah. I know it's years later. That's not fair. You're right. It's 12, 14 years later, whatever. So but still, it is.
Well, it's Arrieta. I mean, it's actually
more money.
It's Arrieta money.
It is.
But Arrieta was viewed as, I believe, a bigger deal than
because he was coming off the Cy or a few years ish. But honestly, though, I'm happy you bring up Dave because, and we have praised him. We always wanted him. Never doubted it
from day one.
But we praised him a lot on this pod, and I think rightfully so, especially not just for the team he's put together that is, the last 2 years, giving us the best 2 years we had in 12 years prior and all that stuff. But the stuff we talk about all the time with like building a winning organization and showing what the Phillies, what it's like to win and what the drafting and development groups and what everything should look like and how it should function and how it should work. I think Dave Dombrowski has been literally invaluable there. I think he's been one of the most important people in the Phillies, in this franchise in the last 15, 20 years, whatever you want to say. Like since Gillick, he has been about as important a figure in the building as we have had. But if we're being honest about it and we're calling like we see it, he has had a bad year. Like it's not just right this moment. It's not the Taiwan signing. It's like the Taiwan thing, bringing him back this year. It's the offseason of deciding, hey, we're not going to add guys. Like we're going to add Whit Merrifield. That's going to be our move. $8.5 million. Obviously a complete and total disaster with that one. It's the decision at the trade deadline that you and I have talked about many times and we're both still upset about, to not add more to this roster when you had a chance, when you saved the powder, not to sign Blake Snell at that point. Like there's so many things you can point to where for someone who for first 2 years, had some small misses. We talked about the Familia thing and the joke about Kimbrel, and then obviously it was good for a bit and then bad, and ultimately a fine signing overall for the money and all that. But like it was little stuff. It was little moves. Like this has been the first year Dave's been here, that especially the Taiwan 2 years ago, but still that signing and deciding to bring him back and have him be a part of your rotation till now. And we believe Dave ultimately leading the decision to keep him pitching. And then the other moves you made. It's been a bad year for Dave Dombrowski.
Well, it's been a lot of bad bets. I think that's been the biggest. And the problem with one of the things Dombrowski has been great at as a general manager, because you look at his trades, he hasn't really lost many.
No.
Like he's
No.
been a very good self scouter.
Yeah.
I think he's just gotten the wrong feel for this team, and I think that's been the biggest issue. Like at the trade deadline, like having the feel that Jose Alvarado was going to be fine, I thought it was a mistake, and having the feel that Taijuan could go out there and like he was going to right the ship, I thought was a mistake as well. And like
Big time.
so, it feels like baseball more than other sports is like all about just making bets. Like what the manager, it's literally just a coin flip if the decision's gonna work or not.
Mhm.
And I just feel like he made bad bets this year. And it sucks right now because like they took 2 or 3 from the Astros and like kind of they played really well the first 2 nights, and then Taijuan kind of threw a wrench in this whole thing. Like this should be a happy podcast, but it's coming after Taijuan, like, obviously horrible yesterday. But like I think if this doesn't end how we want it to end, and we've said this many times, like we're gonna like Dave Dombrowski's gonna get a lot of heat this offseason.
Yeah.
Like because it's gonna be what'd you do at the deadline? Why didn't you push the chips in more? It was making a lot of questionable bets and really doubling down on the same thing, like doubling down on the same exact thing, and
exact thing.
And it looked good for the first 2.5 months. It looked great. But if this doesn't end, I mean, we know what the conversation is going to be this offseason, and for a majority of that, it's rightfully deserved.
Yeah, big time. And again, look, you did this kind of jokingly a couple months ago. And I was just thinking about it last night, but I mean, again, and I don't think Matt Klentak deserves more credit than he gets or whatever it is. But if you just look at this roster and you go through the guys who matter on this team, like basically outside of Schwarber and Castellanos, but like people who help, they're all Klentak guys. Now, Bryce Harper can give to John Middleton, but Klentak's the GM, whether it's going around the diamond, Romuto, Staub, Bohm, the entire pitching staff, other than Nola, who's actually Ruben Amaro. But you got Nola, you got Wheeler is a Klentak move. You got Sanchez a Klentak move. Suarez actually a Ruben move, but developing during the Klentak time. Like, I mean, whatever. But the point being, like, the Sanchez trade was a Matt Klentak trade. Like, you go through these moves. I don't think Matt Klentak was a good GM or anything like that. But it is interesting that when you look at this roster, like the vast majority of it was built by Matt Klentak.
Yeah. So and I think the way to look at it is this: is that I think Klentak deserves. It's much like Ed Wade. Now I think Ed Wade we've completely overrated.
Yeah.
Because again,
Mike Arbuckle did a lot of stuff in those.
I need to try to explain this to people. Like GMs don't really get credit for drafting people. Yeah. Like they if you want to sit and watch whatever, like. The scouting directors draft people.
That's why we have Brian Barber. People who listen to our show know all that goes into that stuff. He even said, he's like, Dave's supportive of us. He's involved, but like on game day, he lets us make our moves. You know?
Now, it probably changes when you're looking at a top 5 pick, if I had to guess.
I would assume that the more important the pick, the more involved the
27th, they're like,
I agree.
Whatever.
100%.
But like, Ed Wade, I think, has been a little overrated because obviously Arbuckle drafted all those guys. So, and whatever. The Klentak thing, I actually think he deserves more credit than Ed Wade.
He might. That's what I'm kind of coming into. I don't know if it's more or less than Ed Wade, but he probably deserves more credit than he got.
So I think that the biggest thing that Dombrowski has done, and it's hard to quantify this and it's hard to talk about because like we don't like ultimately know, is everything behind the scenes.
Totally.
And like at the same time, the Klentak teams with essentially the same talent, except more in their prime. Like those guys didn't win squat, and they joked every year. So
and look, Dave did the Topper thing, made the move on from Girardi. All those kinds of like he's pulled the right levers, caught them, like all these things that were smart decisions along the way.
So he deserves a ton of credit for that. But the Schwarber signing is a real like that doesn't get talked about. It probably gets
with
talked
the
about
great
enough.
Philadelphia signings.
But like
enough.
The Schwarber signing is a legitimate huge game changer for this team and this organization. Like he taught them how to win. He's the leader of the team. I think people like Bryce. I think is when we talk about this is more Utley than.
And Bryce is the emotional leader more than like.
And he's the most important player, but like Kyle Schwarber is the most important Philly from the standpoint of leadership. They turn to him when the waters are a little
choppy.
It's like, all right, what's Schwarber think? Like Schwarber is such a huge signing from that standpoint. And listen, Castellanos can be frustrating, but like I think he's added to this clubhouse.
Oh, he's been their most consistent hitter for the last 2 months.
Which is so funny.
Crazy as that.
You look at his stats; it's still like 250, 300.
I know, but I think we forget he's been like 208, 210.
He might have been the 180s at one point.
He might have been.
Holy cow!
It's so funny because they'll just on the broadcast every 4 nights or 5 nights, wherever they'll show like his stats from a certain date, whether it's 40 games or 50 games or whatever. It's like 313. Then I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But for the first time in history, it hasn't moved his average at all. It's been the slowest move of an average I think I've ever seen in my life.
313 over the last 2 months. I'm like, how?
It's just money.
Yeah.
So like he deserves a lot of credit for changing the whole philosophy of the org. And like, dude, they had no idea how to win. There was a lot of talk of like we need to sell off all these pieces so that we can rebuild and draft and like he got them out of neutral. And I think that's what they were in. They were a talented group that ultimately was going nowhere. And I think that he got them out of neutral. So he's had a tough year, but like I think Dombrowski is going to be fine. And
I do too. I don't want it to seem like I'm out on Dombrowski. I just think he's had we haven't talked a ton about it. He's gotten a lot of credit those first 2 years. Like, he's had some misses.
Yeah, for sure. So again, they did take 2 or 3 from the Astros. So
did you realize they
talk about the good things too?
By the way, did you realize they extended Dombrowski through 27?
I saw that the other day.
Flew by. I didn't even notice it. We didn't really talk about it, but it's not, which is good. I want him here. I'm happy he's staying. Especially with all the rumors of like Nashville and going back and all. It was good to hear like he's locked in and stuff. But we don't we never talk. Like it's so funny. It's just like happened. I was like, wait, what?
We don't need another baseball team. Like we don't. Sports expansion is I don't know. It waters down the product too much for me. So
I 100% agree with you.
I don't think we need another baseball team. Take a deep breath on the old expansion.
Leave it as it is. Yeah, we still got stadiums that are like not full at all.
I think someone counted yesterday at the White Sox game. There were 63 people. Wow. Like, how do you like? Obviously, you're going to put out the announced attendance because I think you have to.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's like, what a joke.
What number would they put it at to where it's like I have to look up Baseball Reference.
I can look it up right now. You can just look it up on a box score, I believe, right here. Let's see what their attendance was. I think every box score at the bottom.
And poor Travis Jankowski made the catch of the year to keep them from their 29th win. Are they in 30s yet? I think
they are at 31 and 103.
That's not bad,
dude. That is what a great call. What stinks I feel so good about that call of the vault. That was like week 3 of the season or whatever.
What stinks for them is that I don't like there's a lottery for the draft now. So
you ready for this attendance? Yeah. I know it's bad timing for that, which there should be a lottery. I'm fine with that. Take a guess. I would say 63 people counted. What do you think they announced as the official attendance?
7,500.
11,285. Nice.
That's good. It's good. Juice those numbers.
I mean, like, it is so ridiculous.
Well, maybe 11,000 people paid, but I don't think 11,000 people showed up.
I think that's pretty clear.
Wow,
that's pretty amazing, right?
That's pretty down in the dumps. So, keep that in perspective. I guess.
Sure. Yeah,
I guess we'll keep that in perspective.
So yeah, the White Sox. Let's just take a quick look. Wow, their run differential. Have you looked at it?
No.
It's minus 282. They're gonna have a over minus 300 run differential.
Is that a record?
Yeah,
it might be a record.
I think it is. Yeah, I don't remember. I did it in my vault thing, and I forgot what I put. They have a 231 winning percentage, man. They're winning 23% of the time they take the field.
Seeing a record of 31 and like 100 something is jarring.
162 times.
Sure, I'm sure Garrett Crochet and
they're on pace for 37 wins right now.
It's big.
Can we just stop for a second here? They're on pace to go 37 and 123 or 124. Dude, that's the amazing Mets went 40 and 160 or 40 and 1 was it 40 and 122 they went. Is that right? I think that's right. Or 42 and 120 or something like that. This is wild, dude.
I know.
They actually are going to be the worst team of all time.
Yeah.
They're going to like Cleveland Spiders-esque.
Don't let them get hot. Don't let them get hot. No one wants to see the White Sox in September.
Pretty amazing.
It always blows my mind too. It's like they always see the bloopers or whatever. Like they hit the second baseman on a throwdown yesterday in the head. It's like even,
I know. How about Alex Bregman, by the way?
I just don't know how it still happens. Like you still are technically Major League Baseball players.
Wasn't that fun when Elliot texted us his take that when he said that all players should be ejected immediately if he hits
when he starts talking baseball?
I know it is funny because you'll see like it'll be like 4 or 5 takes in a row and me and Jack just ignoring it.
Not responding.
So my new thing is when it's really an annoying one, I'll just write nope. Like nope.
No, well what I do, I say nice. Like I don't need to engage. I do not want to engage.
So did you hear the stat about and he got fired since, but the Pedro Grifol nugget. This was back when they were it was I guess this is from so July 31st. So this is from a month ago, essentially, right? He got fired, I think, a week later or whatever. But it was at that time only 2 managers in baseball history have managed at least 200 games for the same team and had a winning percentage under 333. By the way, we just saw their 23, 230 as their winning percentage. Under 333. One is Pedro Grifol, since fired manager of the White Sox. And the other was Dr. James Prothero, a licensed dentist who managed the Phillies during World War II.
Just another day?
Like, that's how epically bad.
I thought you were going to say Frank Kona, honestly, like,
know, right?
as the Phillies manager there for a little bit. But those teams won 60-some games.
Yeah.
Those teams won 60-some
Gene
games.
Mock back in the day.
I know. So, but yeah, like, what stinks about the Taiwan thing is that it was actually a positive series. Like, it was
They won the series. I know.
That's why you got to treat yesterday like it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Pretend it didn't happen. It was a good series. If we did this podcast after Tuesday night,
we would have been stoked. Nola.
I know.
Noel's been good, man. Underrated good. I think we've not given Aaron Nola enough credit. If you really take those like 3 starts he had that were horrible out, like, you might be leading the league.
Well, yeah. No, he's looking close. Like, the start against the Astros was the best thing I've seen him look in a long time. Like, it was a pretty big spot, and I don't know if he missed a spot, dude. Like, he was.
Oh, it was pinpoint.
He was awesome, and it's always nice when you get in a rhythm with Nola of like, all right, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do this, and that's when you can kind of tell he's rather than like the last couple starts, he is in the first couple of innings like had trouble finding it, like he'd been fighting himself a little bit, and then like the fourth or second time through the lineup, looks like he kind of finds his spots and gets going, and then it's usually 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 runs, whatever. Like, he had that from Jump Street on Tuesday, and it's just funny. Like, I look at what's so shocking is like I look at all these other teams, right, and it's like the Astros have been unbelievable for about a month and a half.
Yeah, they've been on a run,
and it's like I don't see it. Like, I just don't see it. Like, the lineup, they're showing guys that I've never even heard of.
I think there's a really good point in that.
And then I look at the Phillies lineup, like they should be really good.
I think this is part of the myopic thing where we follow the Phillies on a night-to-night basis. We get so locked in on what they're doing and stuff. But if you look around the league, like you made the point, I think it was last pod when we were talking about Judge and how insane he is, where it's like, that's it. We have Judge and Soto.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, Jazz has been good for him a bit and stuff, but like I think there are a lot of the best team, other, even the Dodgers, when you look at the pitching now, they're getting guys back, but they're top heavy, so the bullpen isn't great. Like, I think you're right about we get so focused on the Phillies where it's like there's no great team. Like, none of these teams are so much better than the others. It's a lot of teams that's probably why the standings have kind of even out to where they are, where it's I think a lot of these teams are pretty similar.
I mean, the playoffs are legit. Like, there's not a great lineup in baseball.
No.
Not even close.
Well, that's why I think the Phillies, like, if we're talking about optimism and hope and outside of the obvious Taiwan getting booed at the ring ceremony, there's probably you're right, the best belief that we have just that would happen, that they would end. But I do think that like, I know we've talked about all year, but I do think that that's why if you can get these 4 starters, if you can get Wheeler, which are looking good right now, I agree with you. But if you can have that, if you can have what we at the beginning of the season going into the playoffs with at least a couple dudes in the pen who bring in 2 or 3 guys, like, that's how you can win. Like, because there are no great lineups, it like you can win by having the best foursome.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Like, overall, I feel pretty good.
Better than I have.
I don't think they're gonna go on the toilet again like they did. The pitching staff rounding back into form is big from that standpoint. Like, if they weren't pitching well and they weren't hitting well, like, that's a big red flag. But like, Wheeler's turned it back on, Nola's turned it back on, Rangers looks phenomenal. Chris Sanchez has been really good. The Taiwan thing, I mean, the Taiwan thing at this point, it's Allard gives them a better shot. There's no doubt about it.
Without doubt. Which Jack saying that, it's really
never a doubt.
Yeah,
my guy.
You were always in
my guy, Colby Allard. It's just like like.
No, I gotta say something. I can't just.
His mechanics, his mechanics look like the 12-year-old.
It does look weird.
Like,
it's
like,
yeah.
Like this is how the coach told me.
Yeah, it does look very like. All right, let's go, boys.
Yeah, like it's a little high. It's a little like Little League, but it's worked. Basketball's got some giddy up. I'll give him that.
He whips it in there, man. Whips it in there.
Not Tyler Phillips. I'm not ready for it yet. Man, deep breaths on that.
But again, he might be. And we just saw it. We saw Michael Mercado. Like, that's the whole like anyone's better than Taiwan thing. Like, I don't know for a fact.
Mercado might not be.
That's what I mean. I don't know for a fact that that's true. But what I will say is, I think that anyone's better than Taijuan in the sense that I don't think the team just feels like they're going to lose the same way if Taijuan, with like, I think it's a mentality thing.
It's something different.
Again, I compare. I think the greatest. You mentioned it in 2020, and we talked about it ever since. Like when you have a horrible bullpen, you know you're going to lose, and those guys run into the game. We could see Bryce deflating right field, be like we saw JT when freaking Jared Hughes is running in full speed, just like I think that's like the way they start a game with Taijuan there. I think they're just like,
I know.
So
the name that I don't know why no one's bringing up, or maybe it's starting to be brought up, is Seth Johnson. Like Seth Johnson,
trade for him and bring him right in, baby.
Well, he's up to AAA now.
Didn't the other guy that threw 10 strikeouts for Moses or whatever the other day, or Moises?
Oh yeah,
he had a sick outing, right?
He's young though.
No, I know. No, I'm not saying for the majors. I'm just saying that trade.
Oh, he's going to be they Ani crushed
pretty
that
good.
trade.
Yeah, pretty good.
No, Seth Johnson. I think Seth Johnson at worst is like a good depth piece that could be like a fifth starter. Like at least he has got. The problem with Mercado. He's one pitch.
It's his fastball.
It's one pitch,
and it doesn't. And his fastball, like it doesn't have quite as much life as I thought it did that first time out. Like he's got some life. It's got some giddy up at the end, but it's like it just feels like hitters just sit on it and just
of course
rush it.
Because they can just spit on whatever off speed pitch he has. He needs to go to he needs
another pitch.
We need to spend all off season with Ryan.
Yeah,
you can spend it with one person.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do the Pivetta thing where he's a splitter away from being Steven Strasburg.
No, that was an aggressive statement that you made. A real true statement.
They lost the Workman Henry trade.
That's true.
Not even close.
No.
Jack was.
I mean, I thought you meant the Phillies. The Phillies lost it by miles.
Not even close.
Like honestly, arguably as big a loss as they've ever had in the trade, just because of how bad Workman Henry were.
It's a big one. But Seth Johnson, I think you're gonna like this. He reminds me of Javier Vasquez.
Oh,
love Javi Vasquez.
I loved Javi Vasquez. That dude pitched some big games too, Javi.
Dude, he was he was a good little pitcher there.
Yeah, he was.
Like a quintessential 2000 to 2005
dude,
pitcher.
I remember back
in Ben Sheets.
His Expos days, Javi Vasquez.
Dude, Ben Sheets should have been so much better.
Ben Sheets, he was for a moment. Like there was a moment where it's like, oh, Ben Sheets might be the best pitcher in baseball. Certainly one of them. Like when Jake Peavy.
Russ Ortiz.
Yeah, Russ Ortiz. Yeah, he was never as good as
he was not. Sheets, though. He was not. No, Sheets. Dude, Sheets, Brandon Webb.
Legit, yeah.
Brandon Webb was sick.
Brandon Webb. I mean, he might have the heaviest baseball I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. It's like Brandon Webb and then Logan Webb, like the same exact.
I know,
guy.
same guy.
Dude,
Brandon Webb. He won the Cy Young. Like Brandon Webb. Like I remember when he was on those years, like where you would watch him pitch, and it was like, how does anyone lift the ball off the ground? Like how does anybody? Impossible.
That's what I felt about watching Lowe.
Derek Lowe's that way too. Exactly.
Derek Lowe, Dan Herron. I love Dan Herron.
Dan.
I think
Dan Herron seemed like a good dude. Too.
I have. If you ever need it, if you're ever down,
you go through a list of these.
No. Like, ask me to do my Jake Peavy impression.
Oh,
it might be my best work. I can do a lot of them. I
told you, I saw the Phillies beat JD Durbin, complete game shutout, out-dueling Jake Peavy in Petco Park in 2007.
Jake Peavy, I might have, if Walkers are righty, I might have him just study Jake Peavy. Because I don't think he's going to be super tall, if I had to guess on Walkie. So I had to start looking at shorter pitchers. Like Oswald, happy birthday.
Lincecum?
Yeah, well, Lincecum's no.
The all-time, don't repeat that. don't ever do what that guy did. I don't know how it worked, but it was awesome to watch as it happened.
Matt Cain,
sure. Going back to the Giants teams. They're perfect. Matt Cain on the perfect game list, right? Wasn't he one of the, didn't he have a perfect game?
Where'd you rate this podcast?
This has been an all-time, all over the place. Honestly, I don't even know where we're going.
I want to know how many pitchers.
I'm trying to think of when we actually talked Phillies. Like
White Sox for a while.
I know.
A little too much White Sox.
So we just naming like late 90s.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, how long can we go just naming pitchers?
I mean, we could probably go all day if we wanted to. Yeah, just think of a team and then just start rattling off guys from that team,
By the way, the grid might be back. I'm back.
In on it. Grid, yeah. Really?
We need to go away for like 6 months. And then
I agree.
Come back
I agree. So my brother sent me Cinematrix, which is they got movie grids now. So I've been doing that.
Oh, of course. Of course you're doing that.
See what's on
no, I don't. Today? I really don't.
You sure? I can tell you. I've got it open. Ready? Hold on. Let's see what's on Cinematrix today.
Mike Pelfrey.
Adam Driver, Greta Gerwig, and Ben Stiller. Right up your alley. And then it's got like 2010 to 2019 is here. It's got one word title. It's got movies with a certain director. It's fun. Good game.
All right, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I need to mix it up. I should go back to baseball because it's been long enough.
Dude, I pulled Esteban Loaiza the other day.
Oh,
Freddie Garcia when he was an Oriole and a White Sox. We're back. Mark Trumbo. I love Mark Trumbo.
I liked Mark.
I wanted the
too.
Phillies trade for Mark Trumbo for about 5 years in a row.
Great home run hitting name too. It's like power hitter. Yeah, it sounds right. Mark Trumbo.
Sounds about right.
I'm in on that.
All right. You ready?
This is good.
You ready for the take back?
I don't know. I got nothing else. I mean, we literally have gone. I don't even know what we've talked about. Yeah, take back, please.
Jose Ruiz is yeah, he might be there.
So are we okay? Official. We trust Jose Ruiz in a 3-2 game in the 8th inning. Are we there yet? 7th inning?
I'm in belief in him getting the job done. I'm at about a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, I was at about a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty good.
And we're getting up there.
Yeah,
we're getting up there. Like he's getting up to 98 now, which is good. That's big. So Jose Ruiz is developing into one of my favorites. Listen. We don't know what's going on with Jose Alvarado. Like, I hope everything's fine. And we don't know when he's going to be back.
Yeah, with the personal stuff and all that. Yeah, I have no idea. That was weird because it was just like, hey, he's going for a personal reason. We don't know.
Well, yeah. But like Drew Smiley's out there. He's on waivers. He's a lefty reliever.
He hasn't been that bad either.
2-4.
No, well, I don't. I'm surprised.
And Taylor Rogers, who I think is owed money for next year too, but he was on waivers yesterday too.
Wait, hold on. Who let Taylor Rogers go?
Oh, the Giants.
Giants let him go?
Yeah, because like
has he been bad?
No, he's got like a 2-something ERA.
Sign Taylor Rogers right now. What are we doing? Will he clear waivers?
So you might,
because he's got it next year. He might clear waivers,
or you just sign him and pay him.
Yeah, or like, that. Yeah,
yeah, like pay him the rest of the year's salary and then you have him for next year. I don't know, but
I love that.
But Taylor Rogers,
I love that. I'm like, could not be more in.
So this must be the new thing with baseball. Like they got rid of the waiver
guys to save money.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
It's incredible.
It's horrendous. So it is like their new August trade thing where they until September 1st you make it.
They put guys on waivers and rather than paying them, so it's good. It's healthy.
It's so bad. It's so bad for the sport. Like the Cubs just
they do get to go to maybe
the Cubs just like gutted their roster. Like it's like they had like guys who are major league players, and the Cubs weren't even that far out of it. Like they're out of it, but like I don't like if I'm a Cubs fan now. I will tell you, I have friends who are Cubs fans, and to a man, shout out to my buddy Justin, who's definitely not listening. They really are like okay with it. Like they're like, we won the World Series. Like that's it. Like I didn't expect. Like it feels like the lovable loser thing. They're like they didn't expect to win. They got one, and now they care that much less about it. It's really weird.
That explains my Eagles fandom.
That's what I mean. They're just like, I'm good. No, we won one. You get that right? Like the World Series, we won it. Yeah, that's us. Like that's it. Wow. They're like, all right, cool. All right.
Maybe they deserve another 100 years.
Yeah, maybe that's right.
They deserve another 100 years.
Let's give them the double whammy. I like that.
I was disappointed to hear the slander from the morning show today. Yes. Once again.
Okay. So
you really don't think I could do a better job than Taijuan Walker?
Yes, I really don't think that you could. I'm really sorry to say this to you. It does hurt me a little bit. Who do I think will get more outs in a Major League Baseball game? You or Taijuan Walker? I think it's Taijuan Walker. I would go so far as to say anyone playing from single A through the majors right now, anyone, whoever's on any roster on any team would do better than you in the majors.
I think if I drop down,
really?
I think there's a shot. It is bad though. I was on the beach and I was having a catch. By the way, there's just nothing that is more enjoyable than having a catch.
Honestly, having a catch is the best thing.
Man, we're working on it.
It's so good. Yes.
You know, I can still wherever I could put it.
Oh,
like, wherever you need me to put it, I can.
You can whip it. I know.
It's no big deal because I was trying to teach my 10-year-old nephew about pitching.
Oh, yeah. I know. I got a text from Jack, a little text about, just broke down that no-landing pitch by pitch. My nephew, no big deal.
I said he's gonna go first pitch curveball. He's gonna go fastball up, and then he's gonna go. I think it's the curveball down. I don't know, but it was like
you're like I just nailed all 10 pitches,
right? And I wanted, and hopefully he was sitting there like, wow, I am sitting next to a literal pitching team. I should listen to everything he says. Yeah. I'm sure that's what he was thinking in his head. Yeah. But my arm hurt for 3 days after. It really did. No, it 100% did. Couldn't lift it.
I totally buy that.
No, it was bad.
Yeah, I know.
But it's the greatest.
Yeah.
Feels at the beach are just different. Now I had to watch it on my laptop, which is not different. It's actually annoying. I wanted to watch it on the big screen.
Yeah, you've actually I feel like throughout the history of this podcast, you watching the Phils on your laptop has been just a consistent theme. Well, like because you have had to do it in so many different places, so many different situations. Like you've watched more games on your laptop than I think most.
I mean, who could forget? Again,
not even
Nola versus Scherzer, 2018 in Costa Rica.
No one's forgetting it. Yeah. Certainly not Jill.
Do any of the new listeners even know about the?
I don't know. This is true. We do reference things that people might just be like,
yes, at one point I did say that Pivetta was a splitter away from being Steven Strasburg.
Yes, you did.
This is a different podcast years ago.
I think you might have compared him to Kurt Schilling.
A little bit, mechanic-wise. Mechanics. Yeah. If he started going over the top, a little bit.
And that story, for those who didn't know, Jack, on his honeymoon,
yes,
had to watch Phillies Nationals on his honeymoon. On his honeymoon. I don't even know where to go from there. I was like, just add something. I'm like, no, that's it. That's it. On his honeymoon. He's like, Jill, I'm sorry. We can't hang out right now on my honeymoon, on our honeymoon, because I got to go to the room and watch the Phillies on my laptop while we're in Costa Rica.
And my rebuttal is, it was 2018 NOLA. Do people remember 2018 NOLA? Like it was like watching Maddox. Dude.
Yeah,
it was like that's what watching. By the way, speaking of Maddox, have you seen the videos?
I did.
I mean,
so insane. Did you see the 14 strikeout game?
No, I didn't watch it.
So there's a video out there of his 14 strike. He had his 14 strikeout game, and it's like the ball is just woo. Like it's like how does someone? It's like the witch thing. You know, I've always loved the Blake Trinan. He's the witch. Like Greg Maddux is the ultimate witch.
Yeah, I mean, he was scuffing baseballs at some points. Like
they all were. Are you kidding me?
No one scuffs baseballs anymore, and I want to bring that back.
Yeah, of course.
Bring back the scuff ball.
Yeah, well, that was. I mean, they went to spider tag. It became spider tag.
I know.
They're like, this isn't good enough. Let's create something and make this super advanced. Instead of just getting a little Vaseline on your hat or stuffing up a baseball. Like they did it back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day. Analytics. Once again. Analytics trying to
you gotta say it with an it's like analytics.
Oh my god. It's every caller on a Saturday morning from 8 to 10 is I heard someone this weekend and it was like, once again, the analytics. It's like, oh my god, would you just take a deep breath? Anyway, just chill out. But it was 2018 NOLA was special. And then my final take in the take bag. Are you breaking out the account of the week? That's what I thought you were doing.
Trying to do work over here.
That's good. Yeah. No, I don't think that I texted you this. Rewatched Dumb and Dumber for the first time.
Oh
in
yeah, and
10 years.
So did I respond? Because I think it's up there. If I didn't respond, I thought I had responded. I said I think it's up there.
I think it's the most quotable movie of all time.
So I know that so you're saying there's a chance is something that is said in my house maybe every day. Like most days, like that gets said all the time. There's a bunch of them that really do get said over and over and over again.
Austria.
Yeah.
Dude, it still holds up, man.
It does. So I watched it probably a year ago or so.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Well, it is just a super funny movie.
Well, and it's like if you pick up on the little subtleties.
Heads are falling off.
Or if its heads are falling off, that's used all the time. And then pull over. It's a cardigan. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Like
you want the most annoying sound in the world? Yeah.
That is high level.
Yeah. Like there's so much. There's so much in that movie.
High level, dude. Dumb and Dumber was a good throwback.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. And really, really, really.
Just me and my two brother-in-laws quoting it while everyone's watching it.
Yeah.
Like
that's the best. You're watching it. You're like, could you shut up already? I'm like, yeah. I get it. You saw the movie a bunch of times. Thanks. If you've not seen Dumb and Dumber, you should watch it.
Yeah.
Obviously,
what I've realized is there's a lot of people and that don't remember a lot of things about like the Phillies 10 years ago. Like everyone's younger now than me. I used to be the young guy. So like if you have not, I know.
Oh, welcome to my world.
Wow, it's just
this is sweet.
So if you haven't seen Dumb and Dumber, go watch Dumb and
Dumber. Yeah, for real. It's hilarious. Like truly hilarious. Have you watched Everybody Wants Him yet?
No.
Even had Tucker jumping in on that. A movie about college baseball starring Glenn Powell and Zoe Deutsch, and like no big deal.
No.
Okay.
One day.
Someday. Why would you care about watching something that's like perfectly tailored to your likes and dislikes and that you would actually really, really enjoy and get a kick out of? Why?
After baseball season.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Sure. I like that. There you go.
Yeah,
nothing. You know what I have time for? The Miller Lite account of the week. In today's show, sponsored by Miller Lite and Gall and Company, located in Port Richmond and Rockledge. Check out Gall or Gal. It's G-A. I thought so. I know. Gall. Check out Gall and Company. For every Phillies game, enjoy $3 Miller Lite bottles at the home of the. I'm gonna go for this. The Witter-Witowski Kielbasa cheesesteak.
Wow.
I think
the old Kielbasa cheesesteak?
Witter-Witowski Kielbasa cheesesteak featured on the Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, Dimes with Guy Fieri. Emily has watched many episodes of that. Miller Lite for Phil's win. Celebrate responsibly. I've never been a food show guy.
No.
Never. I can't do it.
Well, my problem is I don't know how to cook anything.
Exactly correct.
So,
I do zero cooking. I want to do zero cooking. And the result of that is don't care how you make it. Just give it to me.
I'm going to figure out the cooking.
I believe in you. Well, you're a lawn guy now.
Well, lawn guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The natural progression, for you becoming 65 years old.
One day, man. Can't wait.
Can't wait. All right. We got anything else here?
No.
Right.
I know. Hey, what are you doing after this?
Going to bed.
Yeah, I know.
I can't wait.
No,
I do have to walk home, though, which is a little disappointing. Emily's got the car today.
As always, our dear listeners, pouring out for James.
Yeah, pour it out. It's okay. Ready? It's almost noon. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning. All right. I had a big day at work. I had to interview a lot of people. Don't feel bad. You're right, Jack. Screw me. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare. All right. We'll be back after the weekend. Labor Day. Yeah.
Labor Day Monday, baby.
We'll be back. I have to help my mom move that day, so I have to go like early in the morning. So we'll figure it out. We'll coordinate. Shout out to my mom. She bought a house. Very cool in Doylestown. My mom now a homeowner.
Your schedule off the podcast.
Yeah, well, I know you. Yeah, I know. We could do that.
I think Tucker has never wanted a podcast to end.
Yeah, Tucker is like looking at us at the desk.
Oh, it's like my 4th pod this morning.
And he interviewed people today?
I know. No excuses.
Man, this is wild. Aiden's hitting 357 in
That's
August.
what we needed there. All right, now we can finally go. He's Fritz himself.